from us. And I want you, we can bring it on the floor. Never danced like this before. We don't talk about it, dance.
And we're back today. Today we're going to be adding on to Team Building University. I'm pretty excited. I've actually got a lot of cool stuff in the works for my channel. So expect Team Building University kind of like maybe start changing up in the future. But right now I'm going to be sticking to what I've previously done because I've got a lot on my plate between classes and rowing. I row crew as a sport. Between that and classes and everything else, I have a lot on my plate, so I'm going to have to be leaving it here, but you guys will start to see the changes being mixed into all my other work. I'm really pumped about what the video tomorrow is going to look like, so you guys are really going to want to tune in for that. Alright, but let's get started. So today we're finally getting to some exciting stuff. It gets talking about like walls and passive Pokemon gets kind of boring sometimes, but today we're finally going to be looking at like offense, and I like offense, you know, like I like talking about offense. So first off, today we're going to be looking at revenge killers. So when we're talking about revenge killers, we look for two things. Revenge killers tend to be Pokemon that offer high speed stats or priority, preferably priority. And what revenge killers, the role of a revenge killer is to come in and pick off a weakened Pokemon reliably, and that's what they're for, just to come in and revenge a Pokemon. Say you just killed a Pokemon. They generally don't do switching in. They just come in when a Pokemon has been weakened already and come in and kill it. A lot of these Pokemon also work as late game cleaners, which might be a separate video. It might not. I might just end up having this be the revenge killer / late game cleaner video because those are by and large the same exact role. So when you're looking at these kind of Pokemon, you're going to look for generally either priority, speed, both, why not? But with that, you're going to also look for some kind of offensive presence. So that's going to mean you're going to want a Pokemon that can really come in and like do as much damage as possible, because that means as much damage immediately as possible. Because what that means is that the amount you have to weaken your opponent before you can revenge kill it, it's like less and less. So sometimes a Pokemon can be revenge killed just after like Stealth Rocks, or maybe like Stealth Rocks and 2 layers of spikes, or Stealth Rocks and let's say a waterfall from your Azumarill, and then you can just revenge kill something with like Sucker Punch or something like that. You know, just like those kind of things. Like, so the stronger your revenge killer is, the better. But you're also going to look for reliability. Good coverage is also great. But alright, so let's start off with Bisharp. Bisharp is a great Pokemon in the OU tier. Really, actually, just a phenomenal Pokemon. Really immediate power offers, especially with Life Orb, Defiant. Defiant gives you a +2 boost if your stats are lowered by foe. Namely, this helps you deter defogging in the OU tier. So Bisharp fits well on a lot of offensive teams that really like to have their hazards stay on the field. Also works well on hazard stacking teams. Bisharp works really well on teams that want to keep their hazards on the field. Because it really deters the use of defog and also can potentially offer a great win condition. This set is using 3 Dark-type moves and Sucker Punch, so another option here might be Black Glasses, just because you're all actually running 3 Dark-type moves. So this set isn't made to set up, because this is specifically a revenge killing and not an offensive sweeping set. That said, you're going to want to be coming in. This set can revenge kill Latios just with the use of Pursuit by Pursuit Trapping, or Gengar or something, potentially, but Sucker Punch will give you a reliable way. Actually, it will give you an unreliable way. Sucker Punch is a very hit or miss kind of move, because it's very easy for your opponent to play mind games around them. So you got to really predict, is your opponent going to be, and it requires a lot of prediction on this user's part. So you got to be skilled and know what you're doing when you're using Bisharp, but Bisharp will not disappoint. It's got a great offensive typing with Dark Steel. It's going to hit a lot of the OU tier very effectively, and it comes in like just and wrecks house every time it does if you know what you're doing with it. That's all really there is to say about Bisharp. It doesn't have the greatest bulk, but on the physical side it can take a hit, but it's also not the greatest defensive typing, which is something to keep in mind. Alright, next we look at Scissor. Scissor is one of my favorite revenge killers. Priority users. Bullet Punch after Choice Band and Technician Stab is just a fantastically strong move. Knockoff, U-Turn, Superpower, all great coverage options. Makes Scissor fit really well into almost any team. Namely, it fits really well into balanced and offensive type teams, not as well into defensive teams. Scissor is just a great Pokemon. It only has one weakness in Fire. It's got great physical bulk. Oh geez, what am I doing? Oh no, it's got great physical bulk, so that's really something that's going to come in handy. Mega Scissor serves a similar role, but not exactly. Mega Scissor being more of a physical setup sweeper than a revenge killer. Talonflame is pretty much the go-to revenge killer over the OU tier. Talonflame being Choice Band priority Brave Bird thanks to the ability of Gale Wings. Talonflame also hits a fantastic speed tier, so it can outspeed a lot of unboosted Pokemon with a Flare Blitz as a coverage move, or even U-Turn, Tailwind. Tailwind being just a utility move that I put on because there's not really a fourth move, for Talonflame to learn. But Choice Band Brave Bird makes up for Talonflame's otherwise very low attack stat. I like to run a Jolly Nature just because I really want to make sure I'm outspeeding things. The drop in power is certainly noticeable, but I find that this increase in speed sometimes can help you get the jump on opposing Talonflame, which is oftentimes very important because a lot of people do like to run the attack boost, and you will always beat an attack boosted Talonflame with your speed boosted Talonflame. And I just find that's what Talonflame's fitting into my team for, is for being fast and killing things. So I'm going to prioritize its speed. So that said, Choice Band Brave Bird with Gale Wings is a great revenge killing tool, and you will find it as a staple in a lot of OU teams. Dragonite Choice Band is something that's fallen out of favor. It was a lot more popular in X and Y, I believe, actually. But Extreme Speed is a fantastic move. It outspeeds Talonflame, actually, which is one of the big things. Your priority out-prioritizes other priority because it has +2 as opposed to the +1 that all the other moves up until now have said. So Extreme Speed, Outrage, Earthquake, Ice Punch, this is just a really come in with a lot of immediate power, like 403 boosted by a Choice Band is just an amazing attack stat. Really come in, really threaten the opponent with some immediate power. Unfortunately, you are going to be weak to Stealth Rock, and that could break your multi-scale which would really hinder Dragonite's really great bulk. So you're going to really want to be careful about when you're switching a Dragonite in, which makes it kind of wary because it means you can't switch in a lot of times when you might want to and use it for the proper revenge killing purpose. Same thing with Talonflame. The other two not being as much of a problem with Stealth Rocks. Next, we're going to look at some special ones. Unfortunately, these guys don't use priority, but these four do. So these are probably the four premier physical type revenge killers. The other one being maybe Choice Band Azumarill running Aqua Jet is definitely something to consider. I would definitely say that's one to consider. Conkeldurr with Mach Punch is another one to consider. But I think these are probably the four premier ones with, Conkeldurr and maybe Azumarill being included in that list. I don't think there's, Landorus T running with Choice Scarf could be considered a revenge killer. Manectric could be considered a revenge killer. Bullet Punch on Metagross. You really just look for either really fast or good priority when you're looking at these Pokemon. So Weavile definitely with Ice Shard. So Weavile's also great. So yeah, these are all some options on the physical side. These four being my recommended ones, but you can definitely run any of these guys. I think Weavile is actually just a great option that I maybe should have gotten into as well. But there are a lot of Pokemon that can either learn priority or can abuse their speed stat. But we're going to look at some special Pokemon next. We've got Gengar here. Choice Scarf Gengar is just crazy fast. I mean, if you're you got to remember, of course, priority is a problem, but Gengar will have a high special attack stat and can really hit hard and use its great move pool, Sludge Bomb, Shadow Ball, Dark Pulse, Energy Ball, to really get some great neutral coverage. You can also run Dazzling Gleam is a great option. After that, maybe Focus Blast. Focus Blast is a really good move, actually. A lot of people like to run that, specifically for a lot of special walls such as Heatran or something. You could run Psychic. You could run a lot of things. Thunderbolt if you wanted. But this set lets you come in and utilize a great speed stat, so as long as your opponent isn't going to be using priority, you will almost certainly outspeed them, and then unless they are also running a even faster Scarf Pokemon, which is honestly pretty rare. Running a Scarf at this speed tier of 350 is usually people are like, what are you doing? So you could actually even do that and run a special attack because you will already be outspeed. Things that running Scarf are usually around 100, and so this won't let you outspeed like a Choice Scarf Rachi or something, but you could let you outspeed a lot of Choice Scarf Landers or something if that's what you wanted to do. So again, fit it to what your needs are. Next, we're going to be looking at Choice Scarf Latios, serving a very similar role to Choice Scarf Gengar, but just different options. This time we're going Draco, Psyshock, Ice Beam, Hidden Power Fire. You can pretty safely run Hidden Power Fire because normally it would put you under 350 speed, which is a pretty all-important speed tier, making people hesitant to want to run HP Fire. But now you can pretty much use it safely because you're Scarfed and you're pretty much outspeeding everything anyways. That said, these are two common Life Orb users, and you will find yourself sacrificing a lot to not use the Life Orb, sacrificing a lot of power, especially when you're not running a modest nature. So you're going to want to keep that in mind. These Pokemon aren't as popular as revenge killers. Other options being Alakazam, I know, is a really popular revenge killing tool on the special side. Another physical one actually I didn't mention, Breloom. The Breloom doesn't really have a great bulk, and that, so, I mean, Technician Mach Punch definitely is no joke coming off 130. Equals Scissor, but doesn't have as great coverage. So, although it has pretty good coverage actually, I should say. Breloom's an option. I don't know. I don't find people using Breloom a whole lot. Mostly because Scissor can use a higher bulk and better coverage move pool. Besides that, on the special side, you might have Magnezone. Magnezone isn't really quite fast enough, though. It hits 360 speed, I believe. So that's not actually that fast on the special side. Choice Scarf Superior is definitely an option. That'll be crazy fast. But after that, I don't think you have your Choice Scarf Zapdos potentially. But like special side, you're really gonna want to be wary when you're not using a Choice Scarf. When you're using a Choice Scarf Pokemon as a revenge killer, because that could potentially really open up some problems, and that's what I really like. Because other Pokemon can abuse priority on you, or while also taking advantage of your Choice Scarf. While these Talonflame and Dragonite and Scissor might look like they have that problem as well, but they are abusing a priority move, which can be very, very useful for them. And then we have Bisharp, and Bisharp just can kind of do it all. So, yeah, so that's my video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope that was helpful. And, yeah, see you guys later.